Welcome to Shooting It Straight. I'm Pistol Pete here with Ricky Revolver.
How's it going, guys? We're here.
Still
chugging along.
Back again.
Hope you ain't done listening to our ugly mugs just yet. Episode 3. Not a name yet, so we're shooting from the hip. That's
right.
How we like it.
Shooting it straight, though, for sure.
You darn skippy. Well, I'll start it off. We do have a couple of updates for the social media. One of them, I haven't really heard of it, but they told us to put it on there, and it was Player FM. Like I said, I haven't heard much of it. Just said on Podbean that it's a good one to get on there, so we're updated onto there. And then the other one that we're on to is going to take a couple days, but I just got the confirmation as I came over to old Pete's house here, is Apple Podcasts. So we got on the Apple platform, so that's pretty cool. As we know, a lot of millennials, oh yeah, they'll pay that fine dime for that new iPhone. So we're feeding that. Maybe we can just snag a couple our way with the old podcast. But other than that, I mean, it's kind of a short and sweet little update. We're kind of staying on the social media, kind of checking it throughout. But other than that, Pete, that's what I got for there. And YouTube, yeah, right, YouTube. So we're still putting everything onto YouTube. We're trying to find an easier way of doing it, a little bit more sync, I guess you could say. But we need some subscribers. I see we got a couple more subscribers on there. We're up to 3 now.
3.
Yeah, that's more. That's more than doubling it in 1 week. I'll take it. That's good for any man right there.
It's probably 3 listeners that listen to our episodes a whole bunch of times.
Yeah, if I told you who one of them was, you'd... Yeah, let's just not go there. So, anyways, yeah, Pete, that's what I got. You guys just rate, review us, give some subscribes, keep giving us some comments, see a couple comments on there. But other than that, Pete, that's what I got.
All right.
Take it from there, man.
Well, I think to start off, we're going to give you your few minutes of fame, let you celebrate your Bucks win in Super Bowl.
Yes, sir.
Looks like Helen didn't have to watch you burn all your gear in the front yard.
No, she did not. She got to hear me say a couple curse words in the first half, but other than that, what's normal? You know, ain't anything different than any other football game, so it's normal for her to hear that. But yeah, it was a good game. I mean, the first half was, it was back and forth, a real defensive game.
Dude, their defense was on point.
And then, what can I say? Tampa Bay's defense is, we're legit, so we're going to keep playing 4 quarters like that, and we're going to win the game. But then you got the GOAT on the other side. He's going to feed off that, and then everybody's feeding off each other.
Dude, ice cold the whole time.
Cold. Just under pressure. And that's what you got to do. So, big credit to Todd Bowles. Todd Bowles came with an aggressive defensive plan, and that's what they went with, and never let up off the gas.
No, they did not. That in combination with, what'd you say? Mahomes' receiving crew let him down.
Yeah.
Huge.
This coming football season, I'm definitely going to try to get Mahomes again in fantasy football. Why would I not? And to see that, because I'm still looking next year fantasy. Who would you draft? Just trying to look for sleepers of who was still in the, in like the free agencies and just stuff like that. It's just weird like that. But also I'm a commissioner of the football league anyway.
Big time.
Yeah, which I've been commissioner for, which is going to be going on 5 years, so.
Well, tip of the cap to that.
I know, pat on the old back there, which I need to get you in it, by the way.
Dude, I don't do that. I watch the real deal. I don't think I've never tried.
They're still real guys. It's still the real guys.
But don't you guys meet like 37 times a week and horse around with all that? I don't really know how it works. This is the first year where I've actually wanted to get everybody together and do a draft. It'd just be fun. Yeah.
Because we've always done it, and it's usually, there's always one person that can't, or there's 2 people that can't. So then it auto drafts for them. But then every time that my Padre, he does an auto draft, he always makes the playoffs and he's in it for a deep run. So, I mean, it just... But like I tell him, the wife, she plays. I tell Helen all the time. It's like it's any given Sunday, injuries. I mean, it all plays. I get it. It does kind of suck having to, because like my buddy from high school, he had Mike Evans. So it's like going against him sucks.
Yeah.
But I'll take a loss in fantasy football because I'm going to root for my football team.
Well, yeah. And this year it paid off. So, I mean, you got one at least.
Yeah.
Well, one recently. What's that, 2 now?
2.
They got 2.
2 in franchise history.
It was a good game. It was
but the first one in NFL history that home teams won at home Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Tampa Bay at Tampa Bay.
That would be pretty cool. Too bad that they didn't let a lot of fans come in.
Those fans looked pretty packed to me. I know a lot of the close-ups were cardboard cutouts.
Well, yeah.
But I don't know. It just looked like when they were way panned out on the 50, it just looked like mobs of people standing shoulder to shoulder.
But they were cardboard cutouts.
I don't know. Maybe my eyesight's going bad, but I know it ain't going bad. But
solid game.
Was a solid game.
I was rooting for Tampa Bay, for Ricky. I really did want to see him burn all his stuff in the front yard, though. I was kind of hoping they were going to get crushed, but...
First thing that I ordered, which...
Yeah, what'd you order? Did you order any
I got a Gronk jersey.
It's going to be pretty hard to convince Helen that you've had that the whole time.
I really wanted a black, the black jerseys of Tom Brady. Oh, it just... But I didn't want to pay $150.
Yeah, good. Yeah, like I said, it'd be pretty hard to convince Helen that you had that the whole time when it's got the Super Bowl stamp right on it.
Yeah, I haven't got the Gronk jersey yet. It's in the cart, but I did let her get me we're Super Bowl champs, just a T-shirt, so at least I could have a T-shirt, anyways.
Yeah, looks like you got a hat too, right?
Well, this is of the. This is going into the Super Bowl.
Oh, okay.
So
the division champs or
pretty much division champs, yeah.
Well, it was a solid game. My favorite was what was it in the second quarter? What'd I tell you? The second quarter when Bruce Arians rolled his balls out in a wheelbarrow and went for it on 4th down. Was shut down 2 times.
Yeah.
That was tough.
Super Bowl, man.
That was tough. I think that I probably would have just... That was pretty early in the game. I think I would have just taken my 3 and called it a day.
I just think I would have kept Fournette in there, I think.
Yeah.
He's a bigger back.
Dude, he's a huge running back.
And he's killing it all postseason. I think Rojo should have got in there.
Realistically, how many of those tough games like that
have we lost?
Or that have been won or lost by 3 points? I think I would have just taken my 3 and played it a little bit safe at that point in time.
Oh, you're talking to someone. I've seen a lot of losses from us by a field goal. we either lose by someone kicking a field goal or we miss a field goal to either tie it or to either win it, and then we go into overtime and we don't see the ball. I've seen it for years.
Yeah, so you had to have been pretty disappointed when he got stuffed twice on the goal line.
Oh, I'm not going to lie. I was like, ooh, I kind of feel like a cold breeze coming in, like a momentum shift. Ugh.
Then it didn't, though. Then they get the gas, and it was on from there.
Then we got the turnover, and then that's what we needed. We needed a turnover. And then, so my favorite part, which I said when we were watching it, and I'll still say it, and when Tyrann Mathieu got into Tom Brady's face, and he put his pointer finger in his face, and Tom Brady got back into his face.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome.
Yeah, and it's like, if you mess with the GOAT, man, you can get the horns.
They needed to pull that dude out and let him simmer down.
I mean, I like Tyrann Mathieu. He's a aggressive, and he's a good player. He talks a lot, but he hits to back it up. Yeah,
but that was a big game. That was a big game to be doing that because penalties killed them in was it second?
It was quarter? It was almost like 2 drives and really got the penalties in it. Destroyed them.
Exactly. That was killer.
But Gronk killed it. Gronk came back. I just wish he had his wrap still on his arm. Man, I just wish he
club?
had that. Oh, I just wish he had his bionic arm still.
Yeah, I mean...
It was just so cool when he had that on.
The club.
Was
That's
it
what
a
you're
club?
talking about? No, that was... I'm not thinking...
No, I think a club is like when they tape their hand.
No,
like
that
when
was
they broke
J.J.
their-
Watt. Remember, he played like a couple of seasons. It seemed like he had the club on his hand the whole entire time.
Yeah, side note, I see J.J. Watt's getting released from Houston.
Is he getting released? Because I heard that they were talking about him going elsewhere last year, but I thought that's all it was just talk.
No, because it sounded like, because I see Deshaun, he posted on, I'm not sure if it was Twitter or what, but he posted on there pretty much like a kudos to J.J. Watt, you know, like a stamp in Houston history, one of the best.
I thought he'd be there forever.
I thought he'd retire there. I mean, we need someone else across from Shaq, so why not?
You think he'll go to? You think he's going to Tampa?
No. No. It's impossible. We don't have any sort of cap space, nothing like that.
So I didn't see though. So is Brady going to come back, or is he going to go out on a high note?
He's coming back.
Did you see the victory parade where he threw the Lombardi Trophy from his boat?
Did you see him coming off the boat?
Yeah, he
Or
was.
should I say being helped off the boat?
Dude, he was lit.
Yeah, why not?
You might as well.
7 Super Bowls and 10 appearances.
He's had a killer career. I mean, I'm not the biggest Tom Brady fan, but
No, and I mean, so does it break your heart to see the Pouncey brothers are putting the old shoes up, hanging them?
I don't know. He's pretty solid. We'll see how it goes. There's a lot.
Maurice Pouncey and
Marquise Pouncey.
Marquise Pouncey.
Yeah. I figured that he would stick it out until Big Ben retired.
I see Big Ben apologized to him.
Yeah.
Rightfully so. I mean, he played like garbage.
Big Ben needs to retire. Big Ben is a walking injury looking for a place to happen.
I mean, he can't go through a metal detector. There's no way. I mean, you'd set one off every time.
He's got an Ace Hardware store.
Oh, yeah. There's no way. He can't. That guy is, I mean.
Dude, and when he goes down, there's like no options. Mason Rudolph is garbage.
Oh.
But they say that's the future. I think they're wrong.
Well, your future's pretty dim.
I think they should have tanked the entire season. I mean, given how it panned out, I think they should have tanked the entire season and drafted Trevor Lawrence.
I mean, because your receiving core is filthy.
Yeah.
You've got a good receiving core.
Isn't Schuster coming up for free
I mean,
agency or whatever?
So that's another person I usually have on my fantasy team. But I don't know why. Because he usually always shoots himself in the foot towards the end of the season when I always need somebody, you know?
Yeah.
I'm always like looking at the phone like, come on, man. You know, I really need you to pull through. I'm really freaking out about this week, okay? I got a tough must-win to stay in the playoffs, okay, bud? So let's pull this one through. And then he's like, oh, I'm just going to dance all over Cleveland's logo.
I think he putting a little bit more effort into his TikTok videos than he was his.
I mean, he's a good player.
Pregame.
Don't get me wrong.
Sure.
He's good.
Well,
But that's like Tyler Lockett, too. Like, I always get Tyler Lockett usually every year. I want DK Metcalf, but I can never get him, so I get Tyler Lockett.
dude, Tyler Lockett's clutch, though.
But he's hit or miss.
Yeah, but he always comes up big, it seems like, when you need it.
But see, I made the best trade this year. What did I traded, which, sorry, Rojo, but I traded Rojo straight across for Tyreek Hill.
Dude, he's
For the
awesome
cheetah.
too. Yeah, dude, fast.
Yeah, for the cheetah.
Fast.
And he's the one that scored me the most this year with like 57 one game, and it was against Tampa Bay the first time they played, when he just torched us. And that's when he did a lot of the, for you listeners, did the old peace sign to everybody.
You sound like you're a little upset about that.
Well, I mean, Winfield Jr. got a penalty for it at the end of the game when it was like 4th and something. They went for it, and they didn't catch it. Or went to Tyreek, excuse me. And it went to Tyreek, and he didn't catch it. Well, Winfield is a safety. He's a rookie. And that's another jersey I want to get. There's about 6 I want to get. So,
You got to just do it.
yikes. But he went up to Tyreek, and he gave him that into his face when Tyreek was getting up. So, of course, taunting, 15. I get it. But you can't ride him for doing... I mean, emotions. the guy, he was talking shiz all week about it. So it's just like, I get it. It's just like when Richard Sherman, when they played San Francisco and he batted that ball down for the last play. That's what you get for putting a mediocre receiver on me. And everybody's like, well, why would he say something like that? It's like,
who cares?
His adrenaline was pumping so... I could imagine your adrenaline pumping after that. And then you shove the camera in his face? That's kind of your fault.
I'd be throwing flags for days, though, if I could.
See, I used to listen to a podcast, and they were talking about it. They wanted to change the flags into whoopsie daisies.
What does that even mean?
So instead of throwing a flag, they throw whoopsie daisies. So instead of calling them penalties, just to spice the game up a little bit. So everybody's trying to look at, for, S's and G's, of course, but they're just talking about to try to spice the game up. It's like baseball when they're trying to get rid of the umpire and just trying to have everything digital. So you don't have an umpire calling balls and strikes anymore.
Really? I never heard that.
Yeah, that's why they always complain, because they give you, the strike zone when you're watching on TV. And they're like, oh, that's right in the strike zone. Like, oh, a computer or animation or AI or something. Everybody's been wanting that. It's like, oh, we're not far from it. It's like, that's... If it actually did come to that, that'd be weird.
Dude, to be honest with you, though, at this point in time, I don't really think anything that could happen would surprise me.
True.
We're living in some crazy times right now.
True.
So... If that's what's left to worry about, I guess. If it happens, it happens. All right.
Did you see the streaker? I almost forgot to talk about the streaker.
Yeah,
did you see the streaker?
I did see the streaker.
He had a pink bra on, I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure it was a pink bra. Did you hear the play-by-play?
No.
Oh my gosh, it was awesome. Because, they won't show it on TV because they don't want to give the guy publicity.
Yeah, I saw it quickly, but then they cut away from it.
Yeah, because I saw Mahomes. He was, getting ready to hike it, and then he just, he points out, and then he starts walking. I was like, what is he doing? And then I just see this dude coming in from the side. She was like, no, there's a streaker.
Did you see the stuff after the fact that the guy's chasing him? The guy would, chase him, and I think the guy that was hot on his tail, he was a big dude, too, fell down. I think he fell down. Because I saw a picture of him, falling down. And I was like, oh, dude. But I didn't get to see any of it on TV. Those were just, the after. I don't know if there's a video of it online anywhere or anything like that. But,
yeah, I heard audio.
Dude, kind of realistically, though. Realistically. Horrible time. Horrible. One of the most horrible games to decide that you're going to be that guy.
So.
There's, 1 million employees running around, or security or whatever, and with minimal fans, because regardless of what you say, the cardboard cutouts aren't going to get up and get jiggy.
Correct.
You know what I mean?
So hear me out, though. So they were saying on the radio that, because you can place these weird, crazy side bets on the Super Bowl.
Yeah, what type of Gatorade Bruce Arians is going to get done.
Yeah, what color of shirts he going to wear. There was one of them of whose coach's nose is going to show first on one of their masks. So they were saying, what if he made this crazy side bet of, 10 grand, 20 grand of there's going to be a streaker. And he's going to be there, and he makes it, he makes it true. He makes it come true.
So then he's got enough money to post bail and
make a
little bit on the side.
Because they were saying on there that that's what went down, and he paid 50 grand, and it was I can't remember what the odds were, but he walked out with 375,000 is what he won, and he posted bail for 1,000.
Dang!
So he walked out with $374,000.
So he went in that fully prepared, knowing that he was going to get arrested, but he was going to make money. Dude, I'm telling you though, horrible time because they have all this. They have 1 million people standing around with nothing to do because there's very minimal fans. They got time to chase down that streaker. So,
I was laughing so hard hearing it on the radio because I can't remember who called it, but it was like, oh, come on, man, pull up your pants. Have a little more shame in that, big fella. It's like, oh, he's running around the corner. All you can hear is the crowd going, oh, yeah. The crowd ripping. I was like, I want to see it.
All I saw after the fact was all the people saying that, the streaker had more yards than the Kansas City offense all game. Dude, I kind of felt bad for Mahomes because he
deserved better than that from his teammates.
And he did come up with some solid throws. Two of some of the best, like, craziest throws I've seen him make in a long time, and they hit his receiver right in the face mask.
I mean, Kelsey dropped one in his hands, which I'm just like, thank you, buddy.
Yeah.
You keep that up.
You're the man.
Keep that up, buddy. That is what I love. So I'm, like, into it, you know?
Oh, man. So,
I'm not the best one to watch a football game with because I'm not sitting. I'm pacing back and forth. You know, and I don't drink a whole lot of beers anymore, so it's just like a shot, usually a quarter.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, whistle. I hurt wipe my little self over to the old counter. Come on, Bruce, let's keep it up.
Well, since it was your year, though, did you throw a huge Super Bowl party?
No, not with COVID. We went over to her parents' house, but it was just her parents and then us, and we just
hung out.
Yeah, and her brother was there, and we just kind of hung out and kicked it.
I just hung out here by myself. Well, we hung out here, and me and Margaret and the kids.
Oh, I know. I
pizza.
did the little USB drop high in the old mailbox.
That's right.
The son is so funny because the son said the same thing I thought when I was putting it in. I was like, I should be funny and put the flag up. And then my adult self kicked in and it's like, well, don't, because your luck, the mailman would come through and be like, oh, what's this? Like, a USB? That's weird.
Just drops by on Sunday to
and
drop
he just
me
pox it.
To drop me an Amazon picture, and he's like, oh, I wonder what's on here.
He's like, USB. So we need someone to pick it up. I guess I'll pick it up for him. And he's like, oh, Dad, you should lift up the flag. That'd be funny. I was like, that's really funny that you said that. One.
He was probably so disappointed.
Oh, I know. He was just like, what? What do you mean? I was like, well, the mailman comes and pick it up. Like, yeah, granted it's Sunday, but your dad has the weird luck. So I'm pretty sure someone will come pick it up.
Yeah. All right, well, so.
But yeah, Super Bowl, awesome, great times. I'm ready for another one.
You ain't getting another one. Patrick Mahomes coming back with a vengeance next year.
Not with old Papa Tom on the field. Because not only did I want a couple of goats grazing on the field, I got one, but I'm glad it was my goat grazing on the field.
It's too bad. It's too bad because I really wanted you to burn all your gear. That'd be entertaining for me. And then I could have razzed you a little bit.
So I want an Antonio Brown jersey, but I don't want to offend you.
No, you can't buy an Antonio Brown jersey. You can't contribute to his ludicrous behavior.
Luda.
He needs to. He's lucky he got a ring. He's lucky he's back in the league. But anyways, that's a different time. So.
Fair. But yeah, that was cool.
Well, congratulations on that. I say buy all the Super Bowl gear.
Nah, I just got a shirt. It's all just a gray shirt. It was like $25 or something. Was the cheapest thing on there. Not until maybe we get another stimulus check or something. But then I'm already told that my half is already pretty much behind bars.
Your half, you don't get your half.
Well,
you're probably in trouble for the swords. Oh yeah, you did talk about the swords last week. So how'd that go?
I did talk about the swords. I mean, oh.
So you hold on. Let me get this straight. So you purchased
swords.
So Ricky went on a little business trip, stopped and got himself a few trinkets at the trinket shop.
Yep, got the boy, got the wife, and then got me something.
Yeah, you had to get something for yourself. But you didn't follow the pro tip where you slip those in somewhere and, oh yeah, I've had those forever.
Well, in my defense, I mean, I wanted to show you.
Sure.
So she didn't really know I bought it at first. So, and then when I walked home, I had it, of course, in my hand with my laptop case. So she was like, what is that in your hand? I was like,
Oh, these?
Oh, you're talking about my swords?
Yeah, I found these.
And she's like, those look oddly familiar from the video that you showed me last time you went on your business trip. I'm like, oh, it's kind of weird. Because they are the same ones that I showed you from the last time on my business trip.
Yeah. I had these for
And she's like, well, let me see them. So I pulled, you saw
That's
him
a
the
trap.
first.
That's
the
a
first
trap.
one was probably what, 2.5, 3 feet.
Yeah, I mean it wasn't a samurai sword, but it'll definitely get it done.
No, it wasn't a samurai sword. But I'm in the room just going shing, shing. Just swinging it around a little bit.
Like
kids,
a ninja.
the kid's gone. The kid's asleep. The wife's putting him down.
Yeah, because those bad boys were sharp.
Oh, I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting to have to put like a little bit of sharpness to it. But yeah, I don't know if you're lobbing a limb, but in any of your digits, them babies like sausages.
I don't know. I think you could get a limb.
Maybe.
Samurai sword.
I'm not very big, though.
Samurai sword's
muscular
nice.
wise.
So she was not impressed, though.
I mean, I think she was semi-impressed when she saw him in person.
How did you justify what you needed the 2 swords for, though? Because there were 2 of them.
Yes. Just in case.
Solid plan. You never know.
Yeah. I mean, what if one breaks?
That
was even what she said. She's like, well, what if it breaks? I'm like, well,
I got another one.
That's why there's
Funny you should ask.
That's why there's this little 2-foot one right here.
Funny you should ask.
Equally as sharp. And it's cool. It's got like the paracord like on the handle too, so you can take that off. But I want to get like one. I'm sure I'll go back over there again, but I want to get like one of the knives that has the fire starter, like the flint.
Mm-hmm.
I want to get one of those.
Yeah.
A new version. I have one, but it's got like the line and a hook and
it's old.
Matches.
And it's old. It probably doesn't work that good. You definitely should get a freshie.
Yeah. I like to buy cool stuff like that.
Well, you gotta keep your wife on her toes too.
Oh, yeah, she doesn't like to hear you say that, but
well, that's all right.
What's life without a little bit of excitement?
Dude. Look at Margaret would probably say the same thing, but I think she likes it. I think she enjoys it. I used to have this really. I mean, this doesn't have to do with it. Purchasing anything. I try that from time to time, and oh yeah, I always had that. Well, what do you need that for? Oh well, just in case, or you always gotta have a justifiable reason. But I used to have this game that I used to play with Margaret that was a lot of fun, where she'd wake up early and have to go somewhere, have to do something, whether it was run errands, pick something up, grocery shop, whatever. It didn't matter. Didn't matter if I was up for like the previous 36 hours. Do you want to go with me? Well, no, I don't. Well, are you sure? Yeah, I'm pretty sure. And then so she'd go get ready, and then she'd be working on it. She'd be like getting her things together, and then she'd ask me again, and I'd say, no, I don't think so. So she'd continue back about her business, and then she would come in and ask me again. Well, in the meantime, I'm already getting dressed. And I keep saying no every time she comes back, which is 3, 4, 5, 6 times. And are you sure? Well, I mean, like, it'll just be real quick. Dude, nothing's real quick. You know that. 3 hours, 4 hours, 6 hours later, we're almost done. So I just keep saying no. The whole time, I'd be getting ready, and then as soon as I'd hear her coming down the hall, I'd get back in bed. So then she'd go back about her business. I'd get up and like put my socks on or do whatever, and then she'd come back in and ask me again. And then I'd be back under the covers and I'd say no. So then when I'd get all ready, I'd just lay there, and then she'd come in and say goodbye to me or whatever and ask me one more time if I was sure I didn't want to go. And I'd say no. So then she'd be all like upset because now she's got to go by herself. So then she'd be backing out of the garage. And I'd come running out trying to get my shoes on and asking her, well, you just going to leave without me or what? And so she, dude, so mad. So mad. She's not a fan of that game. But I still play it from time to time. I haven't done it in a little while, so maybe it's about time to... You just got to keep them on their toes. I'm sure you...
Oh, she'll make me get out of bed.
She just makes you go?
Oh, yeah. She'll rip the covers off. Oh, yeah. No.
Try that next time.
There ain't no... No. I'm usually up before anybody else anyways, and then I'm usually going to the store.
I could sleep in for days. I'm one of those guys that has to set like 12 alarms. Only, like, to get up to go to work. I'll set like 4 or 5 of them, and one will be going off, and then by the time you hit snooze, another one will be going off, and then it'll get back to the first one, and it like it'll finally wake me up. And then in the meantime, when I'm like half asleep and like one's going off or one just went off and I shut it off, I get mad at my phone that's playing the alarm because it's upsetting me while I'm trying to wake up. But the reason I have to set 16 alarms is so that I can actually wake up. So yeah, like on the weekends, I'll sleep in forever.
See, and I'm usually up before my alarm goes off. 5:30 I wake up, get ready for work, and I'm usually up about 5.
Even on the weekend?
Well, weekends I'm up about 6.
It's too early. I bet I could sleep till 9
dog,
or 10.
it's that gosh forsaken dog.
I always tell my dog to lay back down.
I don't know, what's that syndrome that you have with your legs, something when they like feel like they're tingling or something when you're laying down and you can't go to sleep?
I don't know. I don't have any problem sleeping, I'm telling you, 100%.
No, the dog does.
Oh, the dog?
So she's always moving around.
Yeah, my dog
she's
does
like
that.
in love with me, so then she's got to be on me, so then she's like you're sleeping and then you feel a big, some
Oh, yeah.
80-pound dog lay on you without any sort of means of knowing how big that dog is.
No,
anymore.
They don't know. They don't know. They don't care.
So it's just like, thanks for knocking the wind out of me at 2:30 in the morning. That's terrific.
Then you're up?
I try to go back to bed, but,
Well,
early bird gets the worm.
So, all right. Early, back down to some normal stuff. How's work? How's work going? You expressed some concern for your work last time we spoke. Is that going good? How was your week?
I mean, it was just like any normal week, really. I guess kind of. It's just more quiet.
Except you got today off.
Not really sure what's going on. Yeah, I got today off. Spend time with the boy a little bit.
That'd be nice because today was extremely cold.
Yeah, it was so cold.
Extremely cold. Ooh, that reminds me of something I saw today. This actually goes. So, this morning when I got to work, it was like 8 degrees.
Oh, I believe
The wind was blowing like 30, 40 miles an hour. Felt like it was like, well, actually it said it felt like it was like 8 or 9 below, which it did. It was horrible.
Yeah, wind chill. Oof.
Yeah, so I was going through... I thought of this when you told me your sword story, because... So I was going down the freeway today around 11 o'clock in the morning, and I saw some dude out there in a sweatshirt and skinny jeans on a motorcycle.
Whoa.
On the freeway.
Just getting it.
Either getting it or realizing that he made a mistake when he left his house. Because I was standing outside at work and the wind was just cutting through your jeans.
Yeah, no, it's cutting your losses and
I was wearing a jacket. I was wearing a sweatshirt. I was wearing like thick jeans. I mean, like I had like a beanie hat on, and I'm trying to figure out how this guy hasn't had hypothermia and crashed on the freeway.
Yeah, you're looking at it because you're prepared. He ain't.
No. You know what that guy is?
You're freezing your nards off.
You know what that guy is? That guy didn't buy a sword. That guy bought a motorcycle that his wife said he couldn't have.
Yeah.
And that was either her saying, when he tried to tell him, oh, I've had that. Maybe he followed the pro tip. Maybe he's like, oh, I've had that forever. You know full well she knew he didn't have that motorcycle. So she probably told him he was riding that motorcycle every day there wasn't snow on the ground.
Burr.
It was either that or that was just the 2 middle fingers in the air to his old lady.
Yeah, I don't know.
That guy's crazy, though.
I'd be finding some dry timber and building me up a little shack and starting a fire, man, because that's freezing weather there. You're looking to get frostbite. I mean, it's legal in Washington, in Washington now, isn't it?
What is?
That you can be like a tent, or you can build something on the side of the road or something. Isn't that where you were delivering when you just saw that?
Dude, I never heard that was illegal. I see tents all the time.
Yeah.
You mean like you want to legitimately set up a tent on the side of the freeway?
Well, I'm saying if it's negative below, if it's 9 below, and this bro's out here that's like, whoa, listen to this baby purr. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Dude, he was doing the speed limit on the freeway.
Yeah, that guy, maybe he was on something else.
It's a possibility. But I want to hear more about this tent situation.
I'm just saying, if it gets cold,
it was illegal.
No, I'm saying this guy's like on the freeway. I'm saying I'd pull off on the freeway, try to find me some good, a good patch of trees or something you can find some cover in, build a fire, and at least stay until it gets warmer.
No, you know,
because good grief,
no,
what are you riding your bike for on that, dude? You got some screws loose
you
up
know
top.
what you do?
Got
You
some
don't
screws
pull over
loose.
and make a tent. You turn around and go back home.
You should have left in the first place.
He couldn't tell when he pulled out of his garage. The wind was blowing like 30 miles an hour.
He could just tell by the calendar. It's like, oh, well, it's winter time. I probably should just drive
you know
a
what?
vehicle in the Northwest.
Pro tip, you know when's not a good time to ride a motorcycle? February.
Yeah.
Well,
Was that your pro tip?
that was my pro tip for the day. That actually just came to me because...
Don't ride your dirt bike in February?
I mean, I guess
not a dirt bike. Motorcycle.
I guess you could ride your dirt bike if you want, but what a good place to not be on a motorcycle is the freeway in the dead of winter.
No. I do want a bike, though, bad.
I think you should get one.
I want a little Ninja. Just a little 500cc, nothing crazy.
Stimulus check.
I don't need a... Yeah, right, I gotta go get all that schooling and driving tests and all that good jazz.
For the motorcycle?
Mm-hmm.
Nah.
Yeah, I think you get permits for it, and then you gotta do a driving test.
Yeah.
They got, like, set up cones at the police station. You got, like,
Yeah,
swerve
I did that.
in.
I did that.
Yeah, I didn't.
Yeah, I did that. And so that's actually a funny story. So for a long time, we rode with, me and my friends rode without endorsements. I know that is not exactly
breaking the law.
I know that is not exactly illegal or exactly legal, but I'm gonna ride in bikes forever. And when's the last time you saw a motorcycle pulled over that wasn't some crotch rocket and the dude was being a fool already? Like, you're minding your own business, you're not really getting hassled. I know you got something to say. What do you got to say?
I've got pulled over on a 10-speed bike.
Well, you were probably aggravating somebody.
No, minding my own business, just on the back roads, because who's going to ride their bike on the main streets? Not me.
Who's out in the middle of nowhere riding their bike? Someone sketchy. So
Okay.
he was probably just doing a little...
So, I got a ticket, and I didn't know that when you pay by a check and send it in, that it's like a $5 extra charge that you had to automatically put on there because they're going to take it from you.
For the check?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I guess like processing or whatever you want to call it. Well, I didn't know that. So I sent the check in. I'm good.
Piece of cake.
So I went on my daily life like I'm just...
And you had a suspended license?
So I guess they said they called me and they said they sent everything in the mail, blah,
That's
blah,
bullcrap.
blah. Never got anything. Or I would have paid an extra $5. Why would I lose my license for $5? So it was like it accumulated for so long, and like all the back payments and interest, all that jargon, it was like $450 it ended up to. Over $5 it ended up over that, and they said because they tried to get a hold of me so many times that they just suspended my license.
That seems a little sketcy. But it also seems like it was a little foolish of you to screw off $5 and let it turn into $450.
Well, if I'd have known, I'd have just walked in there and said, "Here you go, bud."
Yeah, here's $5.
Because I got a seatbelt ticket in Idaho, and it's like $10 in Idaho, and that was, so gosh, years ago. And it's like, can I just pay you now? Is that bribery?
Dude,
It's like $10? No. Like, I'm just. So I gotta go down to the courthouse for $10. Okay, just
Dude,
ask
hold
me.
on,
I didn't
hold on,
know
hold
if I
on.
could like swipe my card real quick.
so
or...
you got busted and got a suspended license over $5. How did you end up on the bike?
So, oh yeah, sorry. So at my job, and this was a ride. You'll be kind of, I don't know what you'll think actually. I like to just see your expression
all
from
right,
this.
I'm ready.
So I would ride my 10-speed bike from the sporting goods store that I worked at, from there to, pretty much just off of Prairie and Coeur d'Alene.
Dude, that's a rip.
Yeah, it was a couple hours.
Yeah. Dude, I bet you were fit, though. But anyway,
Yeah, fit. So, I'd ride there just in regular clothes, and then when I'd leave work, I would just have my work clothes on because I wouldn't care. It'd be like a long sleeve shirt, and it's dark. It's gonna get cold. So I'm pedaling my bike, right? Pedaling, and here comes this car. Whoop. And I just see him pulling behind me, and I was like, oh, great. So he pulls me over.
You're like, dude, I already got a 2-hour ride.
On a 10-speed bike, and I'm sitting there like, for real? Like, this is years ago. This was years, way before that big gas station right there off the freeway, right at the state line, way before any of this. And he pulls me over. He's like, oh, you know why I pulled you over? I was like, well, I know I wasn't speeding. And he actually chuckled.
Did he ask you for your license and registration?
He asked me for a form of identification. So,
yeah, because you know that's illegal to not have a form of identification on you.
I didn't know that at the time.
I bet you did.
I didn't know that you're supposed to have like a USB card, you could say. I can't remember what they call it. Yeah, an identification card. Yeah, that's what they call it, identification card. Well, you're supposed to have one of those. Well, I didn't know that. I've always had a driver's license, so I've always used that. Well, I didn't have a driver's license, so he's like, well, do you have anything with, I just pretty much told him that. He's like, well, do you have anything with your photo and name on it? I was like, well, I have my work badge. He's like, well, I can't use your work badge. I was like, why? I was like, it's not my photo and my name on it. And he's like, well, it's just not a form I can, or of, a form of certification that I can accept. And I'm like, okay, well, that's...
Dude, you say you get what you get right now.
That's all I have. And I had my shirt on. Like, it clearly shows, like, who's going to go through all of this and ride this for... I don't have a backpack on. I don't have anything. So I'm not... Unless I'm, carrying something the old way, I don't have anything. Mm-hmm. And he's like, well, it's actually illegal to ride in dark without a light on. And I'm like, okay, well, it wasn't dark when I left, but it's getting dark now.
You guys say, stop wasting my time then.
Like, now it's going to be pitch dark when I get back.
The longer you waste my time, the darker it's going to get.
Like, now I got to go side streets where there's lights because I'm going to be freaking out because it's going to be dark out. And my little paranoid self thinks someone's be jumping out of the bushes trying to get me. So I'm taking lighted streets, and I'm taking my time.
So you write you a ticket?
No, so he just gave me a warning. He's like, yeah, just get a light in the front and a red light in the back, and then you'll be fine.
Huh. Okay, so you got pulled over on a 10-speed bike.
He could have offered me a ride.
He probably didn't have a bike rack. He probably would have.
Let me put it out the window. Like, you wasted 45 minutes of my life. The least you could do is spend 15 more and drive me home.
Dude, it's too bad. You're lucky, though, he didn't wait till dark and then write you the ticket for no light.
Right? Like, oh, I see you don't got a light on. No, that's $150.
I got pulled over one time in a new car not a new car, but a car that I had bought off of like Craigslist or something like that, and I had put it on my insurance or whatever, but I got pulled. It had one of those automatic seatbelt contraptions.
Yeah, those are so rad.
Yeah, not really, because they only work like half the time, and this one in particular was broken, and I'd been driving it around for a couple of days, but it would work and it would lock up appropriately. The motor just wouldn't work, so you'd have to pull the seatbelt over. Well, I forgot to do that, so I got pulled over for no seatbelt, but I had the lap belt on. So he asked me for the proof of insurance and my driver's license and registration and all that, and I didn't have the card hadn't showed up in my mailbox yet because I was young and I was dumb at that point in time, so it didn't dawn on me to maybe see if they could send me a temporary copy or like by email or whatever. So anyways, he writes me a ticket. So I had plans, so I continued on my way, and I got pulled over again later on that night, and I got asked this for the same stuff, and I said, well, no, I don't have the proof of insurance that hasn't showed up yet. I just bought this car like 2 days ago or whatever. And so I said, well, here's my ticket from earlier when the same thing happened to me. And so I gave him the ticket. He looked over it. wasted just enough of my time that it turned to the next day and then wrote me another ticket for no proof of insurance because this was late. It was late at night. So he wasted like an hour of my time, did the whole
beating around the bush.
Everything. Well, he beat around a little more than the bush. They brought in the dog. I had a friend with me, and they brought in the dog and said that they needed to search the car. And I was gonna say no, but we were let's just say in the good old boys jurisdiction. And I am not paranoid, but I was afraid that if we said no, they would end up finding a way to arrest us or something and impounding the car and searching it anyways, because they were hell bent on searching it. So we let him do all that, and turns out they wasted just enough of my time to write me another no insurance ticket. So I got like something like almost $1,000 worth of no proof of insurance tickets that night. So that was pretty rad.
I've been pulled over so many times.
It's a good time.
Do you know how many tickets I've got?
How many?
3.
Really? That's 3 too many.
But I've been pulled over probably like 12.
What's the dumbest thing you ever got pulled over for?
Well, the one
that you were
the
doing
one thing that
dumb.
I got out. So I guess I got out of the ticket because I went back to driving school for.
Like one of those deferment programs or whatever.
Yeah, if you like go back to the school for so many days, you like get the ticket waived or something.
Yeah.
Because I was speeding in a school zone.
I was doing that once.
Well, I was following everybody, and I happened to be the last car. And cop happens to be pulling just sitting there right at the old sign. He's like, oh, that guy's speeding, that guy's speeding, that guy's speeding, that guy's speeding. Oh, so is that guy, and he's last in line. And guess who's last in line? And that's what he even said. I was like, I was just keeping up with traffic. And he's like, everybody else is speeding. He's like, yeah, but you're last in line.
Yeah, dude, you got to do the speed limit if you're the last car.
It's like that was my first learning experience of traffic, because I was just like keeping up with traffic. That's why I've always been told to keep up with traffic.
Unless you're the last guy.
Unless you're the last guy. Don't be doing 10 over, 15 over. You'll be getting in trouble.
I got pulled over in another Craigslist car I bought that's speeding in a school zone. It was actually a college campus, across the backside of a college campus. Me and 2 of my buddies worked together. And bought this shady car off of Craigslist. It was a good deal. Didn't really want to pay for diesel in my truck at that point in time because it was like $5 a gallon. So I bought this little Craigslist car. It developed a battery charging issue, but we found that out one day in the daylight on the way to work, and we worked at night. And on the way home, we're running the headlights and the taillights and the radio and all that shit, acting a fool. We ran the battery dead. So it wouldn't start the next day. But what do you do when you're stupid and you're like 19 years old? You just jump start it and you drive to work. It ran all right because it was in the daylight again, so there was no taillights, headlights on, whatever the situation.
Yeah, drawing more power.
Yeah, so I come out of work that night. It's dark and had to get the old jump start again. Except this was particularly more complicated because now you're trying to use your brake lights and your headlights because it's like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. And we were a rip from where we needed to go. And so I decided, can't drive with the headlights on. Take too much battery. The car won't run. Because it was a fuel-injected car too, so the injectors run off like power also. So you can't have it both ways. So what do when you're stupid? You just turn the lights off. You keep driving. So we were going to drop one of our buddies off between work and where we were going. And also what comes through your mind at that point in time, what you do is that the faster you go, the quicker you'll get there, the less chance of you getting pulled over. I mean, that seems logical, right?
Okay.
When you're stupid.
Uh-huh.
So we planned out a different route than we would normally take so that we wouldn't get caught driving with no headlights on in the middle of the night. Combine that with go faster, you'll get there sooner. Combine that with only had the car for a couple days and hadn't switched over the registration. It had expired tabs, so we got pulled over. And you know what's worse than getting pulled over? By one guy?
Getting strip searched?
Well, that's worst case scenario. When the second car pulls up. Then when the third car pulls up, because we were speeding around the backside of this college campus to get where we needed to go, and all of a sudden, who's the only car that rolls up to a stoplight? Cop. 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning, speeding, no headlights, dead ringer. We just pulled over. So he shows up.
At least you weren't that dumb.
Two or three more cars come out. That was the whole deal. I explained it was a new car, and he asked me, like, where'd you come from? Oh, I just said over there. I didn't tell him that we had already driven like 20 miles. And so after the whole rigmarole, he basically did me a solid and said he was going to let us go because I had so much going on at that moment with the no tabs, the no registration, the no insurance, the speeding, the why were you being reckless with no headlights on, So he told me to save the money that I was going to spend in fines to get my paperwork in order. So he tells us we can go. What else do you do when you're 19 and you're stupid? You think that you're just going to get back in that car and drive off. He said, no, you can walk.
Yeah, so you're going to be driving dark again?
Yeah, so basically me and my two buddies just locked the car, went and had breakfast till it got light, got back in the car, got a jump start, and drove home. So, well.
I got an open container once in city limits.
Did you?
By a bike cop.
That's not very solid.
Nah. I wouldn't say solid. It's more embarrassing than anything. Because, everybody's walking down to the bars. Everybody's like, oh, let's just pound a couple before we go. And then let's just have a walk beer, a road beer.
Well, road sodas?
Road sodas. There you go.
Exactly.
See, road
sodas are great.
Where I was from, that's
how you do it.
It's just, you got a drink in your hands. Whatever.
It wasn't whatever.
In city limits, it ain't whatever. It ain't whatever. And there was like, you could just hear like, when people stop pedaling and you just hear like I can't make the noise, but
yeah,
it's that noise coming, and there's like 3 or 4 coming, and I just tuck it right in my belt buckle and flip my shirt over real quick, and the last cop flipped the U. And I was like, oh, what's this guy doing? And then sure enough, You
didn't think at any point in time when did they ride past you?
Huh?
Did he flip around and?
Oh yeah, he flipped around.
You didn't think about ditching the container at that point in time?
So he flips around, and I see him flip on his little flashlight, little light flicker thing on his handlebars. And he's like, "Oh, you guys can keep on moving." But he's like, "I'm gonna have a talk with your friend here." And I'm like, "For what?"
You were the last in line, weren't you?
Yeah, and I'm like, "For what?" And he's like, "For that open container that you had." And I'm like, "What do you mean?" And I was like, the open container. And he's like, the open container that you had in your hand.
When you stood in those bushes over there.
And I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. He's like, well, you can either tell me where it's at, or I'm going to write you a ticket for littering. And I said,
I haven't littered yet.
Getting sarcastic can get you in trouble. And I said, which one's cheaper?
See, solid move.
Yeah.
Did he tell you?
And he said, how about I just take you?
And game over.
And I said, you only got one seat.
Oh, he's going to take you on the bike?
Yeah, he's going to, and he's like, ha, 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 like a fake laugh. He's like, we just call somebody to come take you in the car. I was like, oh, okay, makes sense. I was like,
I would have been like, don't be a wise ass.
I was like, all right. And he's like, and to be serious with you, littering is a lot more, especially now I know it's a beer bottle, and it could be in someone's yard, it could break the glass, kid grab it. It's just not good. I was like, all right. Morals. Sorry.
Mm-hmm. So I did get stopped 2 days before I turned 21, and luckily that guy gave me a solid and did not give me an MIP, because I just flat got busted with the can in my hand.
Those are off your record once you hit 21, right?
I don't know. He didn't write me a ticket, so I never got. He didn't make me dump it out. Which
wonder how we look, because I've got 2. Well, I got 2 when I was, of course, underage.
I don't know.
The first one was bad, but the second one was BS. But whatever.
They're all BS. They got to be off your record by now. Well, either way.
I figured 21. You got to be of age to drink, anyways.
Yeah, you would think they would go off, but I don't know. I never really looked into it. I got lucky that he didn't hose me. Must have felt bad.
The old young days.
Yeah, back in the day when we were stupid. Well, either way, that's it for shooting it straight today.
That's it for episode 3?
Yeah, episode 3. Now
I feel like I need to write down all these thoughts I got rolling through my head for episode 4 now.
Now everybody knows that Pistol Pete and Ricky Revolver are criminals, basically. So, and Tampa Bay won the Super Bowl. I mean, that's pretty much what came out of that. So,
yeah, I mean, I don't know. Just kind of. I mean, Tampa Bay winning the Super Bowl is pretty freaking rad, and I'm ready for what do they call those? Back to back.
Yeah, we'll see about that. Sounds like it's getting deep here on Shooting It Straight.
Maybe you got your muck boots on.
Yeah, always.
There you go.
All right, so that's it for Shooting It Straight. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.